These two investors are on the trading floor because guess what time it is?
Market play time.
It's time to play the freaking market, which is like honestly the most fun thing to do in Dynasty Fantasy Football. So we've got quite the list of moves here to make that we have been telling people, hey, we're making these moves or making these moves on our own Dynasty Fantasy Football teams that we think are pretty good market plays. Now, again, this doesn't mean that every player we're trading for is a buy, and it doesn't mean that every player we're trading away is a sell. That's not how this works. A market play is basically taking advantage of one player's situation for another player's situation when their values are being, distorted by factors that aren't related to their actual Dynasty Fantasy Football production. And so let's go ahead and take a look at our favorite market plays in Dynasty Fantasy Football right now. This is the first one. This is interesting because honestly, you could just say, well, this is essentially just a buy. It is, but it's a market play, and here's why. This market play is buy Travis Hunter for pretty much anything. Not overpay or go out of your way and send all your picks, or if you have, it's obviously going to be team dependent. But here's why Travis Hunter is a good buy right now in fantasy football as a market play. Because when you're looking at how the Dynasty community is going to value Travis Hunter, first of all, you have a lot of creators out there that are going to elevate Travis Hunter because he is Travis Hunter. And this is coming from the two guys who Travis Hunter subscribes to our channel. And I have proof of that because he commented on our live stream when it was subscribers only, okay? And it was the real Travis Hunter, by the way. It was the best moment of our lives. But Hunter is pretty beloved by not only creators in the community, but also all of you. I mean, and maybe not the people who are watching, but just the people who are, he has the most name value, and this is a big thing for marketplace. He has the most name value of any rookie in this draft, including Ashton Genty. Travis Hunter is just the most popular player in this NFL draft and for these Dynasty rookie classes. And so when you're considering that, typically the guys that have that name value, which again, not related to his production this year, related only to his brand, to his name, typically those guys have the longest leash of all time. The fact of the matter is, I think Travis Hunter could come out here and do absolutely nothing and still maintain his value. I really do think it's going to take a lot for him at third round prices right now in Dynasty startups to move down in value next year. I don't think we're going to be like, oh, let's move Travis Hunter down, which could make him a sell if he just comes out and doesn't do anything and then we just think he looks bad. I think that's unlikely. But the alternate, scenario here with Travis Hunter is that he comes out, he balls out, and he increases his Dynasty startup value by 25 to 50%, and he's going in the second round. Because Travis Hunter is that type of talent. He is talented enough to make that happen. And so when you're talking about the two scenarios there, you pretty much can't lose. You're either investing in a wide receiver that is so value insulated that he is going to maintain no matter what he does, or you are hitting on Travis Hunter because he is one of the most talented football players we've ever seen, because he has great taste in Dynasty Fantasy Football channels, and because he's in a situation where he could produce right away. He really could produce right away. There's no doubt about that. Travis Hunter market play, I just like buying him for anything.
Yeah, so we'll pivot over to quarterback a little bit here. We've obviously been talking about Brock Purdy quite a bit. Just had him in a buys video where we're telling you guys, like, hey, look, it's kind of ridiculous where this guy's being priced. After the contract extension, we thought his value would go up a little bit in Dynasty. It has not. It stayed about the same. And we've seen him actually fall lower than we've ever seen him go in the most recent startups that we've been breaking down in our live streams. But here's the market play for Brock Purdy. You can down tier from Kyler. You can down tier from Love. Maybe pivot from Love. I'm fine with that as well. Or you can down tier from Herbert and go get Purdy plus. Look at the production capabilities of every single one of those quarterbacks. They're about the same. Herbert, QB 12. Kyler Murray, QB 10. Jordan Love, actually a lot worse. QB 17.
QB2 last year.
And then Purdy was the QB 14 in points per game. He was a top 10, I believe, QB, just like he was the year before. So it's as simple as this. I'm not going to just scream from the rooftops again like we have been, because we've exhausted it at this point. It's as simple as this, guys. Purdy is the cheapest top 12 producing quarterback in Superflex formats right now of these four guys that I just mentioned, between Kyler, Love, and Herbert and Purdy. So you just go with Purdy at a cheaper price, you get a plus on top.
He has the value insulation they all have. He has the situation they all have, and he's scoring as many, if not more, points.
He has the talent they all have.
He honestly does.
Telling you.
Next market play here. You can move. Oh gosh, you guys are gonna kill me for this, but I don't even care. I like winning. I can't. You can move Bucky Irving, and you can get Travion Henderson or Quinshon Judkins plus. And I like Bucky, but I think in terms of like the range of outcomes for all three of these backs, I think they are about the same. I think Henderson and Judkins could be top 5 backs in Dynasty. I think Bucky is close to a top 5 back in Dynasty. And when you're talking about their price, I think, from a points per game standpoint last year, I say this and people say, well, look at his snap share. Look at his snap share. He didn't actually take over. Bucky Irving's snap share even later in the year was kind of like, oh, they're giving more Rashad White this game. Oh, they're not. But it doesn't matter. 14.4 points per game, 19th in the league last year in points per game for Bucky Irving. Not a full season's worth. And again, that's 207 rushing attempts. He ran for 1,100 yards. And the fact of the matter is he looked amazing. But I think in terms of what his ceiling is, I think Henderson has that ceiling, and I think Quinshon Judkins has a ceiling. And right now, you can down tier from Bucky and get one of those guys plus, because Bucky has been going above those guys.
Yeah, it's the ceiling for me. Like when you're looking at what their ultimate dynasty value ceiling could be, what is it right now? It's about the same, and 2 of them are going cheaper than the one right now.
It's the same. This is high praise for Bucky Irving that we're putting him in the conversation with 2 prospects that are highly coveted second round prospects. Like Bucky has gone from he went in the 5th to or 4th, whatever it was, to, oh my gosh, we're talking about him with all these other great prospects. Look, these are 3 great backs, and we're just taking the cheaper ones here because we think they have about the same range of outcomes.
You guys know it. We would overpay for Rashee Rice. We talked about it in a video this last week, and I'm just telling you guys, there are wide receivers in the price range of Rashee Rice right now, maybe even a small tier down where you have to pay a tiny, tiny premium to get up to Rashee Rice, and it's 100% worth it. I love Devontae Smith. I've loved him since college. I thought that he was severely undervalued as a rookie heading into his rookie season because everyone thought that he was too small and couldn't play at the NFL level. 6 foot, $170. Now he's 26 years old, 4 years removed from being a rookie. He's had 1 wide receiver 1 season and a couple wide receiver 2 seasons in terms of points per game as well. He's been really, really solid and really, really consistent. He does not have the value upside that Rashee Rice does, guys. That's just a fact. It's just true. And you can say, well, obviously there's a reason that Rashee Rice is being priced at least close to where Devonta Smith is right now in Dynasty. It's because he doesn't have a contract. He's a little bit older of a prospect, and he's coming off of a significant injury. And I'd say yes, check. That's all valid. But at the end of the day, Rashee Rice is not playing with an A.J. Brown, who is locked into Philly for quite a while at this point. And he's not tied to a Saquon Barkley, who is locked into Philly for quite a while at this point. He's not tied to Jalen Hurts, who is locked into Philly for quite a long time. And so is the tush push, by the way, which as much as I like to kind of blow it off, that is relevant when it comes to the play packages that they're going to have in the red zone. And that does limit ultimately the touchdown opportunity that everyone in that offense is going to have. So when you're talking about production upside, Rashee Rice has the edge. When you're talking about value upside, there's only so high in Dynasty a wide receiver 2 in a run-heavy offense can have as good as Devontae Smith is. He's also 26 years old, by the way. Rashee Rice, you got a year on Rashee Rice. He's 25 years old. I think, he's 25. He just turned 25. He was an older rookie prospect. Look, guys, if you want to hold Devonta Smith in general, I'm not saying that Devonta Smith is a hard sell, right? This is a market play. If you want to pivot or make a slight up tier from Devonta Smith to Rashee Rice in your league, I think it's 100% worth it because the value win that you're going to get heading into this season is much greater than just sticking with Devontae on your roster.
Okay, this one actually kind of surprised us when we were looking at the market this morning and like, okay, we're looking for what are some good market buys right now. Well, this one's, I don't know of a player with the upside talent level that Tyreek Hill has that's going this cheap. Here are the guys that Tyreek Hill is going around. This is a real list. Trey Harris, Sam Darnold, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Anthony Richardson, Jack Besh, Tucker Kraft, Jalen Milroe.
Did you just say Milroe?
Milroe is going approximately, hold on, 1 round difference from Tyreek Hill right now in Dynasty.
No. And take that all with a grain of salt. It is keep trade cut, but I will say that does matter because you've seen overpays for Jalen Milroe, and you've seen him be overdrafted. You've seen Milroe go in the mid-second round of the 2025 rookie draft class.
And that's a good point. I think one thing to clarify here with the Tyreek Hill market play is that it's very league dependent. Know your league, play to your league, and it may not be you're getting. But this is what this is. Like, a lot of you guys will watch this video, see that we have Tyreek Hill, say his value, and be like, Tyreek Hill's not that cheap in my league. Nobody's selling Tyreek Hill for that. Okay, the point of the video is not for you to argue with us about it. The point is like, go check his price, if they're high on him or higher than normal, or they value him correctly, then you tried. We're trying to give you trade ideas, not telling you, in every league, Tyreek Hill's valued as the 110th player because it says so on Keep Trade Cut. We know that's not true. So again, like, yeah, it's league dependent, but go check the price on Tyreek Hill. Look, there's probably a 10% chance you can actually trade for him, but it's worth a shot, right? It's worth a shot for all of these guys. And again, we can give you marketplace specific to your team, specific to your league. You can give us as much context as you want, and we can help you do that. That's how we do our team review process, where we give you a full team blueprint customized to your Dynasty team. Nathan and I both do all of these individually. Every single blueprint that comes across is done by Nathan and I, making sure you get the highest quality advice that you can, moves to make for your team archetype, your 3-year outlook, so that you have a plan for your Dynasty team, and you can play the market on the right guys and make the right market plays depending on what your situation is. So you can get a free team blueprint, including everything that we offer on the site, infinite blueprint, a new blueprint every single month on that team, and you can get the trade calculator, the rankings, the exclusive Discord at flockfantasy.com/domain. Code domain annual, I got the link down in the comments, but it's the annual Mother Flock tier with code domain gets you a free one, and we would love to have you join the community, but also we would love to tell you which marketplace makes sense for your specific team, because every team is different, every league is different, and we treat every single review that we do completely different than the last. Next guy.
Okay, so Jerry Judy, I get, is the wide receiver 1 in Cleveland, and he showed a lot of really good, not even good flashes. He showed consistent high-end production last season. He finished as a wide receiver 1 last year. 145 targets, 90 receptions, 1,200 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was wide receiver 12 in PPR. Give him his flowers, give him his respect. That's awesome. 100% credit to him. When you look at the splits of when Jerry Judy was producing with and without Jameis Winston, the production was dramatically lower without Jameis Winston. I mean, across the board for every receiving asset in that offense, including like David Njoku, target volume goes down, the consistency goes down, the yardage goes down, the production overall just goes down for Jerry Judy when there's no Jameis Winston. You've seen this before in the past. It's the Jameis Winston effect in an offense, right? And I don't want to take away what Jerry Judy managed to do last season, which was very impressive in one of the worst offenses in the league. But here's what I will do. I want to play the market here. I don't think that there's much room for Jerry Judy to move up boards when he's going to be 27 at the end of the season in the worst quarterback room in the NFL. Who's going to be able to climb up boards that's going below or right by him? I mean, Josh Downs is kind of the star of the show here. I think that he has a chance of increasing in value, even with the Tyler Warren selection. And I'll tell you why. I'm not trying to just be a Colts homer here, because there have been times pretty much every turn of the road with Josh Downs in terms of his market value, we've been right. We've said buy him, we've said sell him, we've said buy him, we've said sell him, and we've been boom, 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 boom with his market value every single time.
Boom, 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 boom.
And with Downs, after showcasing what he did last season in a terrible situation where he really produced at a higher level than we could have ever expected, he's actually going at a cheaper price than you ever would have thought because of that. And again, I understand with the Warren selection in this year's draft, Warren could actually help Josh Downs quite a bit. I think Pittman might actually take a bit of a hit this year. But the other wide receivers that I would pivot to Josh Downs are Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir. Shakir is an exclusive slot wide receiver. Josh Downs is a bit more versatile. And Shakir in his best year was like a wide receiver 3. It wasn't really anything to write home about. He was actually a high-end wide receiver 4. He had a couple of really good games there. He just wasn't consistent. And Josh Downs finished ahead of him by missing like 3 games, I think, on the season. So I was playing around with some numbers here, and I was looking specifically at the targets per route run metric for all wide receivers with like 200 snaps plus in the NFL. And I was like, okay, I'm sure the best wide receivers are going to be up top. And I was right. Puka Nacua, Malik Neighbors, CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins is there, London, Evans, Adams, all top 10, Godwin, Amon-Ra St. Brown, BTJ, AJ Brown. Basically all the best producing wide receivers had the most targets per route run. They were all at least top 25. Chase, Justin Jefferson, Lab McConkey. Like, no shocker was not on that list in the top 25. Guess who was number 4? Josh Downs had 28% utilization for targets per route run in that offense. When Josh Downs is running routes, Josh Downs is getting targets. And what do targets mean? Targets mean opportunity, which can result in receptions and production at the end of the day. I understand the opportunity is going to be less in an offense where Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones are going to be throwing the football. I get it. But at his current price right now, where he's value equivalent to guys who do have a cap ceiling and who don't really have much room to move up boards, Downs is a guy where you can get pretty much the same production upside as Khalil Shakir for a guy who was really way more efficient and way more effective as a wide receiver last year. So I think it's a nice little market play there.
I love Josh Downs. He's the absolute freaking man. It sucks that he's on the Colts.
Poor guy.
This one's going to get some pouty faces in the comments. And honestly, the pouty faces are fine because this is what we're doing. Egbuka, Emeka type, is now going in the same round as Rome Odunze. And we're pivoting from Egbuka to Rome Odunze if you can. It's not possible in every league, but if it's worth trying in your league if you have Emeka Egbuka. And here's why we're doing it. Egbuka is going to probably have a Rome Odunze year this year. Just thinking about this logically, obviously Chris Godwin coming off of an injury, it's a serious injury, it's a dislocation, but I think they do expect him to play most of the season. Mike Evans, we're obviously baking into his price. He's going to play most of the season, right? We're not going to try to predict injury with these two older guys. And yes, it's possible that one of those guys gets hurt early and Egbuka just maintains his value or increases. That's absolutely possible, and that's why there's some risk involved with this one. But here is here's really why we're doing this, because we think that Egbuka's value, if he's valued where he's at now, and he does have a Rome Odunze year because he is in a wide receiver room with a bunch of veterans that have proven that they are still going to be productive, and Baker trusts those guys. They have chemistry, right? Then Egbuka's value is probably going to drop. With Odunze, we're obviously, you know this. We are Odunze stands. We are calling our shot on Odunze. We think he's going to increase in value. We think he's going to be the guy there. We think he's going to be the man. And so when you're talking about their values, in at least what we think is going to happen, their values are heading in different directions. Here again, the caveat is we could easily be wrong on this. Egbuka could easily go up in value, and Rome Odunze could easily go down in value. These are two pretty volatile wide receivers at the moment. But we're calling our shot, and again, the time to buy Emeka Egbuka, in our eyes, is going to be next year because of what we think is going to happen, because we think he's going to be the 3 there all year, and because we think that once people see he has 750 yards, which is a good rookie season, by the way, as a wide receiver 3, people are going to drop his value. We think next year we're going to be telling people to smash buy Egbuka. Yep. And so right now, we'll let somebody else own him. Next year, we'll go back and get him. Right now, we'll take the shot on Rome Odunze, who we think is going to increase in value year over year.
So there's a nice little pivot that I never thought was ever going to be possible again, but I should have known better because of how bullish the Dynasty community has been on Justin Fields for years and years and years. And look, I get it with Fields. He's got the rushing upside. He's got the opportunity again to be a starting quarterback in the NFL for the Jets, potentially for 2 years if he doesn't suck buns this year. But that's you never really know. I will say everyone knows the contract situation with Justin Fields. They know it's volatile. They know that it's low end starting quarterback money. That's kind of besides the point. Here's what is the point. Tua Tagovailoa is value equivalent. And I would pivot from Justin Fields to Tua, and you can thank me in a year when that's just not achievable again. And look, Tua has a cap ceiling in Dynasty. He's never going to be ranked as high as all these other QBs above him, like Goff and Dak, and have the value upside that Jackson Dart does right now in Dynasty. But with Tua, he's a guy that does have 2 years locked in with a significant dead cap even in 2027. They would save $20 million if they cut him in 2027, but that's pretty far out, like through 2025 and 2026, he is going to be the guy, and he is going to have to be the consistent quarterback that plays the entire season if they want to save Mike McDaniel's job and don't want to clean house in Miami long term. But at the end of the day, guys, I think Tua tied to Tyreek Hill, supported by Devon Achane, and then Jalen Waddle as well. Like, that's just a much better situation than what you're looking at with Fields and the Jets organization at the moment. And I'm just telling you, the insulation, you're getting a little bit of a bump up insulation-wise when you're pivoting from Justin Fields to Tua and Dynasty.
Another pivot. Trey Harris. If we could have the graphic for the Greg Roman offenses with the running back ones and wide receiver ones and how they rarely ever have both. Actually, did they ever have both one time?
No,
they never did get it.
Closest they got was Crabtree and Gore. Yep.
In a Greg Roman offense. So we're making that argument to kind of say, okay, with Ladd McConkey, what do we actually expect from him this year? So when you're talking about the next guy down, the ex-wide receiver that's a raw prospect.
No shot.
I mean, there is no chance this guy is productive unless something crazy happens this year.
Like unless Ladd missed the entire season.
So what you could do, because, Nathan made this point earlier, a lot of the teams that have Trey Harris are contenders because you're in a position to get Trey Harris in the drafts. And so what you could do this year is you could pivot from Trey Harris to Chris Godwin, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, or Alvin Kamara. 4 veterans that when you plug them into your flex spots, give you a distinct advantage over your league mates because your upside in your flex positions, which is where your dynasty leagues are won, by the way, is inherently higher than your league mates. Trey Harris is not going to offer that for you. Yes, he's a rookie, but he's a rookie that, in my opinion, isn't super value insulated. And once people see him not produce, he's going to drop in value year over year.
Yes, I understand that when you move a tight end, especially if they're your top tight end, you have to compensate for that somehow, either by getting another cheap veteran like a Jonnu or a Travis Kelce when you're moving off of a Kraft Kincaid, or even, I can't believe I'm saying this, a Likely. But I'm just telling you guys, you're going to be happier by having some bum at the tight end position when you move off of Kraft, Kincaid, or Likely and go get Juwan Jennings and flex him every single week. I'm just telling you, you can thank me later for this, and I'm going to get a crap ton of crap for this. I'm going to get a ridiculous amount of crap for saying this, because Juwan Jennings isn't anything sexy. He's 27 years old. He's in an offense where Ayuk's going to come back at some point. Pearsall may or may not be on the rise. CMC is coming back healthy, and George Kittle just gets an extension. He's not looking to slow down at any point anytime soon. And, Brock Purdy is just got the bag. So how long is Jennings going to be on San Fran long term? I don't really know. Here's what I'm telling you guys. Juwan Jennings this year had games of 11, 46, 11, 16, 25, 28, 13, and 12 points. Any given week, this guy could go absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. And Ayuk, I'm just telling you, as much as we've liked Ayuk as an investment for reloads, because it just makes sense in terms of like how long you're going to hold him when he starts getting value again. Like, it's going to be a bit before he comes back. He's not going to be there for the start of the season. He may not come until the middle of the season, and then they're going to have to ease him in. By the time he's to quote unquote full strength, it's going to be at the end of the season. And at that point, you've got a full season of work for Juwan Jennings to really do his thing. If you want production, upside, if you want a ceiling of 30 plus points in your flex spot, it's Juwan Jennings. It's not going to be Tucker Kraft or Dalton Kincaid. I'm sorry.
The market play here is move Deebo Samuel for any rookie in this range. And, we talk about flex spot upside. We genuinely don't believe that Deebo is going to be that guy this year. Because really, how they plan to use Deebo, I don't think he's going to get near the volume or the touch amount that he was getting in San Francisco when he was ultra productive. But he struggles with injury, and his reception perception was in the toilet. And so there are lots of red flags for Deebo Samuel in terms of him being a productive asset this year. And so we'll move him for rookies that have high upside. Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck's going to be the starter. He'll gain value immediately when he steps on the field. Jaden Blue could be the starter there, probably will be the starter there, is in a wide open running back room, and could be the starting running back for a contending team in the Dallas Cowboys. Bashal Tootin going in that range. People still haven't caught on with him. We'll see if they ever do. Terrence Ferguson. Do I need to say more? He's the GOAT. He's the best tight end prospect there ever was, that ever lived, period. He's better than everybody. And then Cam Scatterboo. And Scatterboo's the higher end of this range. You might not be able to get Scatterboo, but you could try it. You can still try it. Deebo right now, the young guys he's going around are much better shots than trying to start him in your flex positions this year.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet, because otherwise I'll lose my mind. Jalen Milroe, in many leagues, might not be your league, in many leagues, has gone mid to late second in 2025 rookie drafts. Real money rookie drafts in Superflex formats. Jalen Milroe. Guess who else is being priced in the mid to late second price range? Matt Stafford and Geno Smith. If you can move Jalen Milroe for Matt Stafford or Geno Smith, I don't care if the premium that you have to pay is an extra third, a couple of thirds. For the love of all that is good in Dynasty Fantasy Football, please do that. Please do it.
The next one here, this is probably the the most important one on this list. I'm seriously, if you can make this move in your Dynasty leagues, you are sitting pretty. Shedeur Sanders. The market play here is move Shedeur Sanders, trade him to somebody in your league, and instead of asking for a Dynasty asset back, what I want you to do is trade him and ask them to mail you a bag of chips. I'm not kidding, a literal bag of chips. Have you had Miss Vicky's jalapeno chips? I would take a full bag, not a little bag like you get from the sandwich shops, but like a full bag of Miss Vicky's jalapeno chips. I would trade Shedeur Sanders for a bag of Miss Vicky's jalapeno chips. But there are also other types of chips that I think are good market plays right now in Dynasty Fan. I don't know if you've had Zaps, the Voodoo Kettles. Those are really, really good. So I like the Zaps chips. I recently was introduced to the crab chips by people in our community. Was it Utz that makes the crab chips? I think I would trade Shedeur Sanders for honestly, you could get crab chips plus right now. And so if you can do any of those, and if you legitimately, the satisfaction that you will get from eating a bag of chips, one bag, not even multiple bags. You don't even need multiple assets here.
Over stressing about Shedeur Sanders getting a starting opportunity.
I would much rather be eating a bag of chips.
Yes. So would
I. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think if you can make that move, I think in a year you're going to thank us for it. So because a bag of chips is not nothing, right? It's a bag of chips. Last one.
Travis Etienne, pivot to Mark Andrews. So this is another cross-positional one where you are giving up a running back for a tight end straight up. With Travis Etienne, his long-term value installation is in the toilet at this point. And last year, even with the opportunity to be the lead back again, when he had a nice showing as a running back 3 in 2023, he followed that up with a running back 35 performance in PPR formats. Bashal Tutin's now in that room. He still has to compete with Bigsby, who was taking snaps away from him last season. He's one of the most inefficient running backs that I've honestly ever seen. He's truly a bad running back. There is little to no upside with Travis Etienne in an offense where you're counting on BTJ and Travis Hunter both producing, and you'll say, oh, well, Bucky Irving was productive with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin in the same offense. That came on actually later in the season for consistently when Godwin went down with injury, but also Travis Etienne, I'm telling you, he's not Bucky Irving.
No, he's not.
Mark Andrews, on the other hand, is actually scoring points, and that's honestly, I'm still shocked that we're saying this because it was such an abysmal, horrible start to the season for him, where his target volume not only went down, but it was like 2.511 targets in the first 4 weeks of the season. His target volume consistency went way down. I mean, he had only had 69 targets last year, which is nice, but really not nice for a guy who finishes a tight end 6. What happened is his touchdowns went up quite a bit, which is why he maintained consistent production over the last 2/3 of the season. With Mark Andrews, the reason I'd rather have him over Etienne is, number one, touchdowns or not, he's scoring more points than Travis Etienne. Number two, they kind of found a sweet spot with Mark Andrews at this point in his career. He's 29 years old. He came off of an injury last season, so he wasn't really fully healthy, and he looked a lot better at the end of the year. But they found a sweet spot with how they want to utilize him, and that's kind of less being more. You saw a lot of usage and a lot of target volume for Zay Flowers between the 20s, and Mark Andrews was getting a ton of usage in the red zone. A ton. You saw it with all those touchdowns. The touchdowns, like you could call for regression with Mark Andrews. I'd be like, okay, that's understandable. But I will say, I mean, it kind of worked for them last year, and I wouldn't be shocked if they go that route again this year, where they go with their top receivers in Bateman and Flowers between the 20s, and then they run the ball. They run the heck out of the ball in the red zone. They use Lamar's legs, and if they want to throw the ball, it's going to be Andrews again.
So there you go. Marketplace, they're fun to make. And again, let me just answer every single comment on this video. This isn't happening in my league. Darn, at least you tried. These are the worst moves I've ever seen. Don't make them.
Okay.
You don't have to. We're not telling you that we're going to make them, but you don't have to.
They're not hard sells and hard buys.
You're stupid for recommending this move. We know we're stupid. You're going to be wrong about this move. We're wrong
Probably
a lot. So, I mean, there you go. I think that answers pretty much all of them, right? But again, you're going to check for your league. Every league is different. Know your league, know your team. Again, we can help you with your specific league and your team with a team blueprint, and you can get one for free when you come and join the community. You can send Nathan and I a friend request. You get one-on-one advice all the way through that process, so we can help you through it. But we love these videos, and hopefully you guys are able to get some of these done. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.